Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for our virtual college visit series. My name is Mrs. Edwards. I'm the career counselor both at Lee and Patrick Henry High Schools. And we are really fortunate today to have with us Miss Kim McDaniel and Miss Molly Morgan with Christopher Newport University. And we cannot wait to hear what you all share with us. So sit back and enjoy. And if you do have questions throughout the visit today, please feel free to put them in the chat, or you can ask him at the end of our visit today as well. So with that, I'll hand it over to Ms. McDaniel. Thanks again for being here with us.
Thank you so much, Shannon. All right, well, welcome everybody. Like she said, my name is Kim McDaniel. I'm one of our assistant directors of admission, and I'm actually your admission officer. So I'll be the one reviewing your application and kind of reading over everything. So it's really great for you to join me today. I'm gonna have Molly go ahead and introduce herself and then kind of explain why she's joining you.
Yeah, well, hi everybody. I hope you all are doing well. Like they said, my name is Molly Morgan. I am, excuse me, I am a senior here at Christopher Newport University. I am originally from Gloucester, Virginia, so not too far away, just about 45 minutes right up the road from the university. I'm a musical theater major here with minors in leadership studies and communication studies. And aside from being working in the Office of Admission and talking to folks like you all, I am a part of the honors program, the President's Leadership Program. I'm volunteering at Peninsula Fine Arts Center. I'm also involved in Greek life, both socially and academically. And most recently, I completed an internship on campus as one of the student directors of orientation for the class of 2025.
So Molly's definitely one of our very involved students that we have here on campus, and I promise they're not all like Molly. We do have some students who are a little bit less involved, and there are other students who are way more involved. But on campus, we have about 5,000 students total. We're not looking to get any bigger than that because of the opportunities it allows you to have as a student. You can get involved in as much or as little as you would like. You'll walk around, you'll see a new face every day, a familiar face. So it really does kind of have this great community feel and aspect to it. On campus, we have over 90 different areas of study that students can go in, and that's majors, minors, concentrations. You don't actually declare your major until after your first semester of your sophomore year. So Molly mentioned that she's musical theater, and then she's got her two minors with her, that leadership studies and that communication studies minor. But Molly, I want you to talk a little bit about that freshman experience as a student coming in, how our class is chosen, advising, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, of course. So when I was first coming to school, I had two big worries. One was, oh my goodness, how do I register for classes? And the other one is, oh my goodness, what do I major in? Because I have no idea. Well, for registering for classes, if you come to CNU, the registrar's office kind of alleviates that stress for you for your first semester here. So the registrar will actually register you for your fall semester freshman year classes. So you don't have to register it yourself. They do it for you. And with them registering for your classes, they kind of give you, like your first year writing seminar, maybe a, bio lab, a chemistry lab, something like that. But then they're also going to give you areas of inquiry classes. So here at Christopher Newport University, we're a liberal arts institution, which means that we like you to know a lot about a little, which is your major, and a little about a lot, which is everything else. So those areas of inquiry classes are kind of there to just expand your mind a little bit, make you become a little more well-rounded. So you'll take like a creative expressions class, an investigating the natural world class, civic and democratic engagement class, and then also like a foreign language class as well. And a lot of different classes satisfy those needs. So like, for example, creative expressions can be like pottery, a dance class, a music ensemble. And then, so yeah, there's lots of different classes. It's not just all the creative expressions class. Anyway, but then once you are in your second semester sophomore year, that is when you get to officially declare your major. So if you're not entirely sure what you want to do, that's completely okay. I'm pretty sure the most popular major for freshmen is undecided. So I changed my major 3 times personally. So that's totally okay. And with those areas of inquiry classes, you actually, if you're not sure what you want to major in, that's a really great way to kind of figure out maybe something that you would be interested in majoring in through those classes that you'll take. And those classes are going to be not your stereotypical 300, 400 person lecture halls. Those classes, all of our classes actually at CNU cap at 99 students, and most of our classes are less than 20 students. So I went to a pretty small high school, and most of my classes here have been smaller than my senior year of high school. So having those smaller class sizes, you'll definitely get to know your professors a lot more. Professors are incredible. They're awesome people, super cool. They will also double as advisors for you. So while you're at CNU, you will have two different advisors. The first is your core advisor, who will be there for your first year and a half, 2 years. They kind of help you through that liberal learning curriculum, help you get those areas of inquiry classes, kind of show you through the registration process when you do actually have to register for your classes in spring semester, freshman year, and then every semester after that. And then once you go and declare your major during the second semester of your sophomore year at sophomore signing day, then you will get a major advisor. So that's somebody who is in your department, who knows what you need to graduate, and then can help write letters of recommendation when you go into your post-undergraduate life.
Thank you, Molly. So academics, we definitely try to help when you come in freshman year to get you prepared and ready for collegiate level work and kind of how the classes are set up, because it's definitely different from how high school is set up. While academics are important, it's not the only thing that we want you to get involved with while you're on campus. So we do have a great athletic program on campus. We have 24 different varsity teams, and that's anywhere from men's and women's golf to women's volleyball. There's basketball, soccer, football. We are in the NCAA Division III. So for all of our sports except for football, we're in the Coast to Coast Conference, and that's just because they don't offer a football program within that. We're in the New Jersey Athletic Conference for football. Now, if you're not really kind of into the whole varsity sports thing, but you do want to get involved on campus, we do have over 200 different clubs and organizations, and that's anywhere from club and intramural level sports to Greek life, like Molly had mentioned. We have a lot of fun and random clubs that you can be a part of, academic clubs, religious clubs. So Molly, I want you to kind of talk about how did you get involved in some of what you're involved with and the importance of getting involved on campus.
Yes, so I got involved pretty much from the get-go. That's just kind of how I am as a person. But one of the biggest ways that helped me was going to that involvement fair. So that happens fall semester every year, and that is when our over 200 clubs and organizations set up shop, and they bring lots of different flyers and like buttons and pens and candy and snacks and all those things, and they just kind of throw free stuff at you and ask you to join their organization. That's a really great way to learn more about the different organizations that we have here on campus. Also a really great way to get free stuff. So like I still go. I went this year. I'm very sad that was my last one, but yeah, that's a great way to get involved. And then just talking with upperclassmen, I would like to say the community here is very welcoming. Like people are always smiling and saying hi to you. So it's very, very easy to talk to people here. And then a lot of times upperclassmen are involved, and most people at CNU are involved. It's kind of the campus culture is to be involved. So it just kind of gets you, again, to kind of like become a better human and get to know people. But another way to get involved through my department, I got to, I'm fortunate with the theater department that we're a very close-knit group. So I am the president of our honor fraternity for theater there. But then with social Greek life, they're always doing something on campus. So that's our 7 sororities and 9 fraternities. I will say that although they are prevalent, very prevalent on campus, only about 27% of our student population is involved in social Greek life. So it's there if you want to be a part of it, but if you don't want to be a part of it, that's completely okay. I know lots of people who are not a part of social Greek life, but are still very active on campus. But it is there if you would wish to do so as well. But my biggest piece of advice for getting involved on campus is to find something that you're passionate about. College is going to be very time consuming with all of your classes. So try to join organizations and clubs and groups that are something you're really passionate about, because they are kind of, they will be taking time out of your day, and time is very precious when you're in college. So just find things that you're super passionate about. And I can guarantee that we have it here. And even if we don't, it's very easy to create a club here as well. Only need about like 10 people and some documentation. One of my good friends made a club his freshman year, the Captain Cinema Club, and they just watch movies every week. So really you can find anything in any kind of club here on campus. So yeah.
Thanks, Molly. So academics involvement is definitely very important, and it's kind of what gives you that homey feel of, okay, is this the right college for me with everything? The other kind of missing component of that is, okay, where am I going to live? So Christopher Newport is a residential campus. We do require that when you come in your freshman year, you live on campus for your first 3 years. So freshman, sophomore, and junior year, you are required to do that. Senior year, if you want to continue living on campus, you're more than welcome to do so. But at that point, it's kind of an option. You're not required to do that, but we do have housing options available if that is something you're interested in. Molly, I want you to go ahead and kind of talk about that freshman experience of living on campus and what that's like.
Yes. So when if you decide to come to campus, so congrats. Yay, we're excited to have you. You will have to get a roommate. So there's two different ways to get a roommate here on campus. The first is through our mutual selection, pretty self-explanatory. You find somebody and you both select each other in our housing portal, or then you can go random, which is actually our preferred method. So you'll fill out a little questionnaire talking about how you live, and then you will be handpicked, hand selected a roommate through a panel of staff. So it's not a computer algorithm. It is people looking at how other people live. So me personally, I went random my freshman year. I loved my roommate. I still live with my roommate. We've lived together all 4 years. I'm still living on campus currently because of my scholarship. So some scholarships will be residential, so you will have to stay all 4 years if you get those scholarships. But yeah, I went random. I loved it. So I highly recommend going random. It worked out very well for me personally. So some things that come in the room freshman year, it's pretty typical. You'll have like your 2 beds, 2 desks, 2 chairs, 2 wardrobes. In between each room, however, is going to be a bathroom. So we do not have any hall bathrooms here on campus. It is all suite style bathrooms. We also have co-ed halls here on campus. So, but same sex suites. So for me, I shared a bathroom with girls, but I lived across the hall from guys. So you will be living, on halls with people of different genders here at school. Some more about the hall in general. On every hall, there's going to be there's going to be a resident advisor, an RA. They're an older sibling here on campus. The older sibling, I like to say, of the hall, upperclassmen. They're also super involved, so that's a really great resource to also get involved, is talking to your RA freshman year. But they kind of help you transition from living at home, living with your parents, to living in a community, living in a college residence hall. So they'll also host events. They can help with any roommate kind of disagreements or anything like that you will have, and they're just another great resource as a freshman and sophomore, junior, senior, because you have an RA every year if you're living on campus. And then also on every floor will be trash rooms and study rooms, and every other floor is going to be laundry. And on the first floor of every building is going to be a multi-purpose room, another place where you can go and hang out. It has couches, chairs. One of them had a ping pong table. It wasn't mine because I was very jealous that there was a ping pong table that I didn't have access to. So that's kind of how living as a freshman on campus works.
Thank you, Molly. So we've kind of gone over what student life is like on campus. Let's kind of talk about this admission process of everything. So every year we get about 7,500 applications for students for a freshman class of about 1,200. And we like to keep it a small amount because it allows you to have those opportunities, and it allows us to not go above that 5,000 student kind of area that we have on campus, because we want to keep it smaller so you have that community sense and feel while you're here. When we are reviewing your application, we take a holistic review process, which is just a weird way to say that we want to look at everything that you send to us and not just one tiny piece. So you are more than your SAT and your GPA or your ACT scores say. You're the classes that you're taking and your involvements and what's going on with you outside of school and academics. So we really want to get the entire picture of who you are as a student. And we do that by looking at the classes you're taking, reviewing your essay where you're talking to us about something that maybe you're passionate about. There's also an interview that you can come in for. It's not required for admission, but it is for 2 of our scholarship programs that Molly and I will talk about here shortly. So we want to get that entire picture and sense of who you are. As far as GPAs are concerned, middle 50% had a 3.3 to a 4.3 GPA. So 25% of students had below that, and 25% of students had above that GPA. For the SAT, it was an 1110 to a 1320, and that was the combined 2-part score. So 25% had below, 25% had above that. And then for the ACT, it was a 25 to a 29 composite score. We do super score the SAT, so if you take that multiple times, go ahead and send all of your tests to us, and we'll take the best score from each section and put that together for you. We're also a test optional school. We've been test optional for 10 plus years, so we really kind of have an understanding of how this works for us. If you are applying and you decide that your test scores don't reflect who you are as a student, you don't think they reflect you academically, you think maybe your GPA and the class that you're taking are a better reflection of that, you can apply test optional. We won't ask for your test scores. We don't look for them. It doesn't hurt your chances of being accepted to the university. We just completely understand that some students aren't great test takers. So if you do that, we're going to put more weight on the classes that you're taking and the grades that you're getting. So we want to see that you're preparing yourself for college level work. Now, sometimes you guys are your own worst critic, and what you think is a horrible test score is not a horrible test score. So I always recommend sometimes for you to go ahead and submit that test score to us. If we take a look at it and we think you'd be a better applicant without your test scores, I can switch it on my end and make you a test optional applicant. So it really is kind of up to you on if you want to submit those scores to us or not. We do have 3 different application deadlines. We have early decision, early action, and regular decision. Early decision is binding. You apply by November 15th and you hear back by December 15th. If we say yes to your application at that point in time, you've just committed yourself to coming to CNU, and you have to pay a non-refundable $500 deposit by January 31st. While it's a great option for some students, it's not the best option for all students, and we get that. So we also have early action. You apply by December 1st, you hear back around January 15th, but you have until May 1st to say yes or no to us. So it gives you that time that you might need, whether it's waiting for financial aid or scholarship information, or maybe you have 2 to 3 schools that you're trying to decide between. Regular decision is not a bad time to apply. It's just a little bit later in the game of everything. You apply February 1st, you hear back on March 15th. Personally, I will tell you to apply at least early action. You apply early, you hear back early. It takes a little bit of stress off of you your senior year. And so it's also a benefit as far as our scholarships are concerned, because the earlier you apply, the more money we have that we can give to you in scholarship funds. So take that into consideration with everything. As far as the scholarships are concerned that I've kind of mentioned here and there, we have our President's Leadership Program and our Honors Program. And since Molly's a part of both of those programs, I'm going to actually have her kind of talk a little bit more about them, but I'll give you a brief overview real quick. With the leadership program, students are getting a minor in leadership studies. They're doing 25 hours of community service a year, which is not a lot when you think about it. And then they also have a leadership speaker series. So we bring in a wide variety of people to come in and talk to our students. With the honors program, the biggest benefit of this program is you're getting out of 2/3 of our liberal learning curriculum. So if you know what you want to major in, you can jump into those classes earlier. Or if you want to double major, you have that opportunity to really kind of get everything done. If you want to be in both the leadership and honors programs, they work well together because of the amount of classes that you're getting out of with the honors program. But with the honors program, it's really for the student who loves to learn for the sake of learning, and you want to kind of dive deeper into a topic and see how different topics are connected together. It is interdisciplinary seminar style classes, so it's you having an open discussion with 18 other students in your class and your professor, and you're learning from each other. And then it also has an independent learning initiative. So you're required to do research, an internship, or go study abroad, and then you write about 2 of those for your honors portfolio. With those, it does have that interview that's required for the scholarships, but not for admission, but you can do that interview with us in the admission office. Molly, I want you to just kind of take the time to go ahead, talk a little bit about the interview. How was it for you? But then also kind of talk about that leadership in the honors program, seeing as you're a student in them, and can kind of maybe talk a little bit more in depth on them.
Yeah, so the interview, it's funny to call it an interview because, I mean, it is an interview, but it is a lot less stressful than like other interviews that I've had. So when I went and interviewed, I came to CNU, and I came up to the admission office, and I had I believe it was a fellow who interviewed me. So that was somebody who had just recently graduated. So when you come to get an interview, you either are going to have an admission officer like Kim, you will have a fellow, so somebody who has just graduated from the university working for the year after they graduate, or you could even have somebody like me, a junior or senior, who works in the admission office. So it's more of just a conversation. They just want you to get to know you a bit better. It's a great way to be like, hey, I had a really rough junior year because, a lot of personal things or family things were going on. Or, you can be like, well, this sounds very weird on paper, but let me explain this to you. This was actually really cool what I did, or this was a really great leadership opportunity or academic opportunity that I did. So it's kind of a nice way to put a name to a face, get to know you a bit better, and kind of hear your side of the story rather than just kind of like getting the information, as I like to call it. It is a great way you do have to kind of like brag about yourself. So kind of be prepared for that and be expected to do that. So that's kind of how the interview goes. It's very, very not stressful at all, very low key, very chill, I would like to say, for lack of a better word. But for the President's Leadership Program and the Honors Program, the President's Leadership Program, so yeah, you are doing some community service. A lot of people will do more than those 25 hours. Some of my friends have done upwards of 600 hours of community service, but they just really like to serve. And so you can do that. And then you'll take those leadership classes, which are very cool. So you'll learn a lot about yourself as a leader, learning about other leaders, learning about different leadership theories, which is something I didn't realize was even a thing until I started taking some leadership classes. And then you will take a couple different electives as well. And then You will go to the speaker series, like Kim said. It's not as stressful as it sounds. It seems like it's a lot, but really it's only 6 additional classes. And again, if you are in the honors program, or if you took like dual enrollment or AP or IB credits, it can take some of those like first, writing seminars or your math class that you have to take out of the way. So it's really not as stressful as it seems to be. And you will get the leadership minor, which is great. Now for the honors program, is a bit more academically focused. So PLP is the abbreviation that everybody calls it. That is more like extracurricular, I guess, a bit focused and like going into the community and serving, whereas the honors program is pretty strictly academically focused. So what you'll be doing with the honors program is you'll have like 2/3 of your areas of inquiry waived, like Kim said, but then you will also have to take 4 honors seminars. So your first 2 years. So those are classes that are topic based, but taught from a variety of different academic lenses. So for example, I took a class called Myth Matters, and it was about mythology. So we looked at myths from a literature perspective, looking at different types of myths, looking at the history of myths from a historical perspective, looking at a sociological perspective, and then also like a psychological perspective as what makes somebody a myth, something a myth, things like that. So those are some really cool classes, and you'll definitely learn. I've come to know that a lot of the professors who teach those classes, those honor seminars, are their bread and butter. It's what makes them super passionate. It's like a lot of them wrote their dissertation on these topics. So they're super cool classes. It's really cool to see somebody very, very passionate about the class that they're teaching as well. And then with the honors program, you will also have to do those independent learning initiatives. So before you graduate, you will have to do 2 of these 3 things, which is studying abroad, doing an internship, or doing an independent study / research. And a lot of different things qualify for that. The honors program is very flexible. They want you to succeed. They're not trying to get you kicked out of the honors program. So if you're like, oh my goodness, I don't know what internship to do, they're like, you could even be like being the president of an organization counts as an internship. It's fine. So they're very, very flexible and very, very willing to work with you as long as you communicate that. That's a big thing. Communicate with everybody in college. Everybody's trying to work with you. But then also you will have to, lastly, you'll have to attend some other honors events. So they're different. There's a variety of different things you can go to. I've been to concerts that count as an honors event. Sometimes podcasts or movie screenings will count as honors events. And then other lectures. So Constitution Day, there was a Constitution Day convention that counted as an honors event, so you could go to. So those are kind of what the programs are like. They do work hand in hand together. I want to say about probably 80% of the honors program is also involved in the President's Leadership Program. And there's about 400-ish students that get into the President's Leadership Program every year, and about 120 that will get into the honors program. So the honors program is a bit more selective, but a lot of students in the honors program can be in both, and vice versa. So they work hand in hand together.
Molly, that was really all that Molly and I had to share with you all today. I was looking to see if we had any questions, and I don't see anything at the moment, but if y'all have questions, please let us know. If you don't, please feel free to reach out to me. Like I said, I am your admission representative, so I will be the one reviewing your application, and you can find my contact information right on our website. So you can just shoot me an email and I will respond to you about that. But thank you all so much for joining us.
Thank you all so much. We really appreciate it. This was awesome. And just to hear from Molly and also from you, Ms. McDaniel, and just all that information from a student perspective, but also from the admission side is really great for our students. It's great for school counselors as well. So we really appreciate your time. We look forward to partnering with you and working with you this school year. And we will definitely be in touch with any other questions that we have throughout the year. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.